Okay, folks. So today I want to talk about something that we speak about frequently, and this is employee cost, understanding what the true labor burden is. And so what we're going to do is look at the calculator that I've made and put in some figures. So this is the tab for production employee costs. This is where you would put everybody who's actually performing work that generates money. So your landscaping crews, your lawn maintenance crews, irrigation techs, hardscaping, anybody like that. Here you will not put office staff or supervisors if the supervisors are not actually out there generating money working with the crews. Okay. So your overhead and admin staff don't go here, but you do want to put your production employees. But the first thing that we want to do is go to the base calculations. And just right now, what we're going to put in is how many hours of production do you do in a day? You do want to have an average, right? You want to figure out what that is. So you need to be tracking every day. But we'll go ahead and just, if you don't know what it is, figure out as close as you can. Let's say on an 8 hour day, you know that you're actually in production six and a half. The other hour and a half of that 8 hours could be loading up in the morning, driving to the job, whatever. Okay. And then the weeks of year that you're in production. We're going to use mine, okay, for when I had my business in Florida and I worked 52 weeks of the year. Okay, but your seasons may be different. There are some companies that have 31s, and others that have 36. It just depends. Here I would not include your snow if you are doing snow removal. I would just look at your landscaping operations itself and then the number of production employees. So we're going to say that this is a small company and they've got, just four production employees over there, right? So now we're going to return over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in each employee. So we're going to make up some people. We're going to say Joe, and we're going to say he's a crew leader and he's a pretty good guy. We pay him $30 an hour. He works 40 hours a week. Okay, that's not production hours. That's like how many hours a week is he working? If he's working 7 to 3, that's 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 40 hours. If you're good, and you're in the position to be able to give vacation, you want to include how many vacation or sick days or just the total number of hours in a year that you give people for comp time. So we'll say 2 weeks here. So that's 80 hours, 40 times two. And so let's look over at the right here also. I've put in, some basic calculations. You want to make sure that you're getting it right. What is your FICA? What is, that's the employer responsibility for FICA. Your unemployment rate at the federal level, at the state unemployment level, if there's any other state contributions that you need to give, the work comp percent that the employees are getting. Now, here I don't give the option if it's multiple types of work comp. So you could have people at different rates. I haven't done that yet. It may be something that I add in the future, but I do leave a couple of extra spots for any other types of add-ons that you have for people. Like, for example, maybe if you're offering health insurance or something, and there is a percentage of their pay that goes towards that. This will total it up and just put it over here. So we've got Joe in here. We're going to put three more people. So we'll say Jim. Let's stick with the J's, right? And he works with Joe, and he's a pretty good guy. He's making 25 an hour. He works 40 hours a week, but he's only been with you guys a while, so he gets 1 week vacation. And then we'll say we're sticking with the J's, right? So we're going to go Jake, and he's a crew leader too, but he's a newer guy. He started out at 29 as a crew leader, 40 hours, but he has been with you guys, a couple of years, so he's making 80. And then Jeremy, and he also is at the 25 and 40 and he gets 40. Okay, so what we've got along here is we see the base hourly rate. So the $30 that Joe was making, actually with all the other taxes and the insurance and unemployment and things, brings it to $35.81. Okay, so base weekly, you're paying this person 1432 20 with the add-ons on there. Okay. And the base annual, he's making 74, 474, 40. That doesn't mean that's his take home. That doesn't even mean what he sees on his check. This is the stuff that you are paying as a business owner towards that person. Okay. So what is the labor burden per hour for Joe? Well, it's $46.26. How did we come up with that? How did we go from his hourly rate is $35.81 all the way jumping up to 46.26? Well, there's a couple of things. It's not his portion of the overhead cost. So if you were thinking that, I just want to say no, that's on another screen. What this is the base hourly rate that he needs to make, okay? that that he gets paid. That's the base hourly rate. This is what he needs to earn every hour, because remember that $35.81 is paid per hour for 40 hours, but he's only in production for 6.5 hours. Okay. And additionally, he's got 2 weeks worth of vacation that he needs to cover. So he needs to cover that vacation pay that he's going to earn when he's working. You're not giving it to them. If you're giving it to them, you're going to go broke. The employee needs to earn everything that they are paid, including the stuff they don't see and including the stuff that they'll get while they're on vacation. So this rate is actually, if he's earning that plus his portion of the overhead plus the margin, you're good. You're making a profit. Well, you should be, right? If you've calculated everything out right and you're watching your hours. But he needs to make that $46.26. However, here's the thing. We've got four employees all at different rates. Two that are in the, mid 40 range and two that are in the high 30 range. You can't set your prices for every job depending on I'm sending Joe to do this, but Jim's going to do that, and Jake's going to do this. It gets too confusing. So, what it does here is it averages out the labor burden amongst your four employees. Okay. So, if every employee is on point and earning what they should in an hour in production, with the overhead and the margin and at this rate, it is going to even out. And you're going to cover Joe's 46, and you're also going to cover Jeremy's 37.61. You're going to cover Jake's 44 and Jim's 37.61. Okay. So it averages it out. And that amount of money gets brought over into the hourly base calculator. But this right here, folks, this labor burden per hour, a lot of people I see, they say, "Oh, I'm paying, Bill $25 an hour." I saw somebody today say, I charge $75 to go do work, but if I bring my helper, I charge 100 because I pay him 25. No, you pay him more than 25 if you're doing it right, right? If you're doing it legal and you're paying his taxes and stuff, you're paying more than the 25. Okay, let's just go back and let's to show that, right? Let's say that somebody gets no vacation. We're going to say Joe had a bad week. He's been demoted. He's getting $25 an hour, but I'm still giving him 40. Okay, but even here, he costs $36.72 because he's got to earn the money to pay for his downtime when he's driving, when he's loading up the equipment, when he's getting gas, when he stops, to buy that sneak hot dog that you don't know that he's doing, but he actually is doing. Okay. So when he's got downtime, he's still got to cover that 25 plus, the 29.84 with the taxes, right? It's 25, then adding all the taxes and insurance, it comes up to 29.84, but he still needs to earn 36. So this guy that said, well, I charge 75 on my own and I charge 100 if I have my other guy because, I'm paying him 25. No, guess what? You're paying him 36.72. So that means that you went from earning $75 an hour down to $63.18. You've lost $11.72. That's not good, right? So you want to understand this. And this calculator does this and a whole bunch more. The link is available with this video that I'm doing that you can go ahead and buy it. It's $29. It doesn't just look at the labor burden, it allows you to cost out your jobs. It allows you to run the jobs that you did on a given day and see what your profit margin is, what your gross is, what your net is, what the expense is. It'll take the labor that was actually during production and also show you how much you were paying them for the time that they were down. You can track all that stuff. So you can find that link. But folks, you've got to understand your labor burden. You really do. Okay.